Where is your hope? In the book of Acts, chapter number 27, we read of the story of the Apostle Paul and how he was a prisoner on a ship going to Rome. As he was journeying towards Rome as a prisoner on this ship, the ship encountered a great storm called Euroclydon. And in verse 14 it says, "But not long after there arose against it a tempestuous wind called Euroclydon. And when the ship was caught and could not bear up into the wind, we let her drive. And running under a certain island which is called Clauda, we had much work to come by the boat, which when they had taken up, they used helps, undergirding the ship, and fearing lest they should fall into the quicksands, strake sail, and so were driven. And we, being exceedingly tossed with a tempest, the next day they lightened the ship, and the third day we cast out with our own hands the tackling of the ship. And when neither sun nor stars in many days appeared, and no small tempest lay on us, all hope that we should be saved was then taken away." Sometimes it seems like hope is being taken away from you. And in this particular case of the story of the Bible, hope was taken away. You see, when we go through trials and tribulations in life, our hope can be taken away from us. And it seems like there is no hope. But I want to reassure you, my friends, that there is always hope. As long as God is king over this universe, there is always hope. And you should never feel hopeless. You see, that is when people get defeated, is when their hope is taken away. I think about all my friends suffering with depression, loneliness, and defeat during this time of trial in the year 2020. Those of us who are not only dealing with the COVID-19 problems, but also with loneliness, addictions, and so on. People are giving up hope. And the problem here that I find mostly is that people don't have hope in the right things. They have hope in themselves. They have hope in other religions, or even no religion at all. They don't know what to believe. Their faith has been destroyed in the things of the truth. You see, the Bible is the truth. And when your faith is destroyed in that book, you have no hope. The Bible says that you should not sorrow as others. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, it says that we should not sorrow as others, even as those who have no hope. You see, people are out there in this world who have no hope. But if you're a Christian, you do have hope. You always have hope. You know why? Because God can change things, and with God, all things are possible. And I want to reassure you, my friends, that even though you may be lonely or depressed, or maybe you're fighting a battle you feel like you cannot win, and you've lost hope in your battle, don't give up hope. You know why? Because God is still in control, and He can still change things. And when we believe and know the Bible, we read the end of the Bible and we see the end, that one day God will wipe away all tears. He'll do away with all pain and all death, and that God will lead us to the living waters and refresh our souls. And I want to reassure you, my friends, that in times of hopelessness, you have to find your hope again. You have to find that will to live. You have to find where it is that your faith lies, because in death there is no return. You see, death is a permanent fix to a temporary problem. And in reality, death is not a fix at all. It doesn't fix any problems. It just creates more problems, because now you're in a place you cannot reverse. You see, once you step through death's door, there is no going back. And unfortunately, that is the end. You see, when you die, you don't cease to exist. You continue to exist for an eternity. So I want you to find your hope before it's too late. In Psalms chapter 38, hope is restored to the Christian, to the believer, because he finds his hope in God. It says, "O Lord, rebuke me not in thy wrath, neither chasten me in thy hot displeasure. For thine arrows stick fast to me, and thy hand presseth me sore. There is no soundness in my flesh because of thine anger, neither is there any rest in my bones because of my sin." Here we read in the scriptures that this Christian, that this believer has lost a lot of hope, and he's trying to find his faith. He's trying to find his hope once again in God, who can change things. He says, "Moreover, for mine iniquities are gone over my head, as an heavy burden they are too heavy for me. My wounds stink and are corrupt because of my foolishness. I am troubled, I am bowed down greatly. I go mourning all the day long, for my loins are filled with a loathsome disease, and there is no soundness in my flesh. Perhaps he's a shut-in. Perhaps he can't go anywhere. Perhaps he's very lonely and is dealing with a disease, as in this case. It says that for his loins are filled with a loathsome disease. And then it goes on to say, I am feeble and sore broken. I have roared by reason of the disquietness of my heart. Lord, all my desire is before thee, and my groaning is not hid from thee. My heart panteth, my strength faileth me. As for the light of mine eyes, it also is gone from me. In this particular case, it appears that his lover or his wife is gone from him. The person that he loved is no longer in his life, and that's what it means by the light of mine eyes. The person that he set his desire upon is no longer around. It says, moreover, my lovers and my friends stand aloof from my sore, and my kinsmen stand afar off. They also that seek after my life lay snares for me, and they that seek my hurt speak mischievous things, and imagine deceits all the day long. But I as a deaf man heard not, and I was as a dumb man that openeth not his mouth. Thus I was as a man that heareth not, and whose mouth are no reproofs. And then here's the key verse in verse 15. For in thee, O Lord, do I hope. Thou wilt hear, O Lord my God. He said that in thee, that is in God, is his hope. For I will, verse 16, for I said, hear me, lest otherwise they should rejoice over me. When my foot slippeth, they magnify themselves against me. For I am ready to halt, and my sorrow is continually before me. For I will declare mine iniquity, I will be sorry for my sin. But mine enemies are lively, and they are strong, and they that hate me wrongfully are multiplied. They also that render evil for good are mine adversaries, because I follow the thing that good is. Forsake me not, O Lord. O my God, be not far from me. Make haste to help me, O Lord, my salvation. In your state of loneliness, in your state of hopelessness, find your hope again. You can survive. You can beat this. Do not give up.